Hi guys, the Kitchen Fairy here, and today I am sharing a little trick or tips to lengthen the shelf life of your eggs, which is by making salted eggs. In Indonesia, we consume salted eggs pretty much for soup or rice porridge or congee, or as is with warm rice. We use salted eggs in many of our dish. Of course, you have to make it first because it's hardly sold in. Well, growing up, I didn't find it many. People have at stores. People have to make their own salted eggs, but today most likely there are plenty at supermarkets. You just have to boil it, or sometimes it's already boiled, just like in Canada. You can find salted eggs, but mainly at Asian stores or big chain stores. Otherwise, you also have to make it. So with making salted eggs, you lengthen the shelf life of your boiled eggs to 40 days in the fridge. While if you freeze it, yes, you can freeze salted eggs. It will last for 3 months. So it's pretty good if there are eggs um, on sale, and it's much cheaper than regular prices. You can salted them, make them into salted eggs, and you can have abundant that you can just use anytime you want. I'll see you soon again, and thanks for watching. Bye. First, we're gonna bring water to boil for about 1.5 liters. I'm using my electric boiler. So what we're gonna do with the hot boiling water is that we're gonna dissolve this 3¼ cup of salt. This is kosher salt, the coarse one. Just stir it until the salt completely dissolves. And then we have to cool the water until completely cool to room temperature. Alternately, you can bring a pot of water to boil that you drop in the salt. Whichever method would work as long as the salt dissolved. If you boil water and the salt, you also need to cool it to room temperature before adding the eggs. Now we're gonna add or place egg into a jar, a big jar. This is raw. Usually in Indonesia we would use duck eggs instead chicken, but you can use chicken as well, and I have never seen duck eggs here in Canada, or maybe there is somewhere else, but not where I reside at the moment. So this is a dozen. If you have more eggs, definitely you can add more, as big as your jar. Now we're gonna pour the salted water into the jar as well. So you want to cover the eggs with the salted water. Should be enough for the jar itself should be enough for more than a dozen, so maybe I'm gonna add more. Maybe like I'm gonna make it 15, three eggs more. So I added 6 more. Now as you can see, some part of the eggs, they are not really emerged, or no, not emerged, not really covered with water. In Indonesia, sometimes we put something heavy to press them down. Otherwise, you will have to rotate them in a couple of days or in a week. Best is in a couple of days, so that the flavoring or the salt will be even to the eggs. Cover with cling wrap first so that it's tight, and then if your jar is tied, you wouldn't need the cling wrap, but my jar is not tied. That's why I wrap with cling wrap. So that's about it. We're gonna rotate the eggs on the top in a couple of days, but otherwise you will have to wait until 10 to 14 days, or 10 to more than 14 days, at least 10 days. If you like your salted eggs really salty, then about 14 days or more. If not too salty, 10 days would be sufficient, or 10 to 12 days. So this is day 12. You can, as I mentioned some days ago, you can do it 2 weeks or 10 days, but this is 12 days. So I'm gonna take the eggs out. You can rinse them or you can boil them right away. I have filled out some water in a pot, so we're just gonna take them out and we're gonna boil them for 12 minutes at least. So there are 18 eggs total. So again, we're just gonna boil it for 12 minutes at least. So this is the inside of the salted eggs. As you can see, the white part, it's like it's different with the regular boiled eggs. So it's almost like gelatinous. The texture would be like that. And if you're using duck egg, they will be orange, the middle part. If with chicken eggs, chicken eggs, like what I use, if you want it darker, you can cure it or soak it in the salted water for more than 2 weeks, like maybe 18 to 20 days, but this was 12 days. And if you want it to be more saltier also, it takes longer, so about 18 to 20 weeks. This was enough salty for me. And what's good about salted eggs, once it's boiled, you can freeze it for 3 months at least. Yeah, about 3 months max. And the shelf life itself supposedly is 40 days outside the fridge, or inside the fridge. I think it's inside the fridge for 40 days. It's good for 40 days after boiled. While after boiled, you freeze it again, it's 3 months. So there you go. Thanks for watching.